looked at this about 2 years ago, and obviously when something first hits the market, it's quite expensive, it wasn't really integrated, but we knew it was really something we wanted to do, and we knew this would transform our business, but we just couldn't justify the investment till recently when we knew that there was excellent integration. Price became much more affordable, and even with what I thought the return on investment would be, I was happy to proceed. But once they were in, after the first batch of retail price changes I did, I actually messaged my business partners and said, return on investment achieved. If we get nothing else out of this, that single experience was a game changer. What we used to do was print a batch of shelf labels, and my stock controller would leave them for the staff to put out. And maybe a week or two later, they would be put out. Lots would get lost, lots would get damaged. They wouldn't get printed correctly, and there'd be smudges and the perforated lines didn't line up. So the hours that I'm saving on staff manually putting price tags out, that means those hours can be spent by my staff engaging with our community and talking to them about their health. So increased sales, increased basket size. And then I think being able to change the prices, that pain point of manually putting price tags out, making sure someone knew they needed to be printed, printing them and then getting them out would mean that we would hesitate to do that. So we've empowered our stock controller that when they are receiving invoices and the wholesaler has put the price up, that they can then go and adjust our retail price accordingly, just like that. And having accurate and confident prices on the shelf has been translated into increased gross profit as well. I actually didn't even know this was going to be a thing. When you sell the last item, it comes up and says this item is out of stock. Once it's on order, it says this item is on order. So when the tag is showing the price, you're not out of stock though, and there's no product on the shelf, my staff know to look in the drawer because there's stock there. If they look in the drawer, there's no stock there, they know that stock on hand is incorrect. So instead of asking my staff to zip around and put out of stock cards out and then check why it's out of stock. Is it really out of stock, or is there stock somewhere else? This is a huge time saver, but it also gives the customer the message that it's not there at the moment or it's on order. We recently did this refit, took 3 months, and we had to keep moving our front shop. And I think for a lot of the time, items didn't have a price on them. And they might have had a shelf tag in front of it, but it was highly likely it was the wrong shelf tag. And I personally observed patients saying there's no price and walking out the door, or getting to the tills and saying that's not what the price was on the shelf. And this whole difficult conversation and conflict was happening at the tills. Because I've recently experienced that, I'm very confident now knowing that consumer behaviour really relies on an accurate price being in front of that product. And what I do know is that because they're digital, that automatically gives confidence. You're like, well, it has to be like, right? It's digital. That will be the price that I get at the cash register. I love that we can put promos on the tag so that the top colour changes to red for catalogue, or we can put pharmacist recommend. So that also helps our staff identify what the recommended pharmacist products are. So I'm not at all missing floppy bits of fluoro paper. I absolutely love the integration. One of the problems we have in our industry is we have so many pieces of software and hardware and they're not integrated. So the integration with POSworks is amazing. Trading 7 days a week till 9 p.m, public holidays, is expensive. And so we can very easily now consider changing pricing for after hours or public holidays. Loving the functionality of the tags. Yeah.